Good day, delegates. I hope that you're all well. This is going to be my first video as part of my playlist for the breakdown of Model United Nations conferences. And in this video, we're going to cover three things. First, we're going to cover what an MUN is. Secondly, how MUNs work. And thirdly, we'll do a committee breakdown. So, with that in mind, let's discuss what is an MUN. Well, MUNs are extracurricular activities where students go to debate on critical world issues or they could be any other topics whilst representing an allotted country, and they do it in diplomatic fashion. So basically what that means is in an MUN you have to debate on a certain topic, and whilst doing so you have to debate from the perspective of a country that you will be allotted. And MUNs are simulations of United Nations committees and aim to provide a platform where students deliberate on pressing global matters to understand the complexities of these problems and work towards feasible solutions and educating society as a whole, as it is a very important part of MUNs to create awareness not just amongst yourselves but society as a whole. And this is pretty much what an MUN is. And while you may have the question about why you should do MUNs? Well, the answer is simple. MUNs are these extracurricular activities and they are academic based, and they are extremely good for learning and for public speaking, and they have so many pros. And the main thing why you want to do an MUN is, well, not just for the fun, although that's probably going to be the biggest thing that's going to hook you to MUNs. Well, the main thing is that they are a really desirable extracurricular activity to have in your portfolio. As a person who does MUNs regularly and wins, and winning is not obviously part of the game. It's about actually trying. But with that in mind, doing MUNs is a really desirable thing, and it's going to help you with your portfolios in writing for college apps and applying into different educational institutions for higher education. And so, moving on, how do MUNs work? Well, students register as delegates of different countries that are allotted to them, and they have to represent those countries in their committees. So basically, you have to register in an MUN in one particular committee, and then by the management, you will be allotted a particular country, and you have to debate with perspective of that country, and you have to represent that country, right? So the first thing that you would do is you would have to do research. You would have to start your research on the topic first, generalized research, and then mainly you have to research from the perspective of your allotted country, and you need to make sure that you understand your allotted country's involvement, foreign policy, and past actions in accordance with the topic at hand, right? So you should know pretty much all of the connection of your country with the topic at hand, right? And the way that MUNs work and the way that delegates speak is in forms of speeches. So there's two kinds of speeches. There are the general speaker list, right? In that, the set speaking time for each individual will be 1.5 minute, and delegates do generalized speeches, right? So in GSL, you do not have to have a particular topic for your speech. And then we have mods. In mods, you have a topic, and that's the way they are formed by you raise mods by raising motions for a particular moderated caucus. And in a moderated caucus you have a set time of the entire caucus before it elapses, a speaker's time, which is the time given to each delegate for their speech, and then you have a topic for that particular mod, and the topic is going to be used as the reference point for all speeches, right? And now we come to the unmods. Unmods are unmoderated, right? So the way they work is once you're in an unmoderated caucus, you are free to move around in the committee and you are free to mingle and debate with other delegates. And this time is really crucial because you can go up and talk to different delegates and ask them what their contentions are, convince them, and you can manipulate them. You can understand them better. You can ask things and things like that. So unmods are really fun, right? So these are the main ways in which debate is done in MUNs, right? And there's still so many things that you guys probably do not understand regarding mods, unmods, GSL. All of that will be explained in a future video, but for now, this is pretty much all you should know about how MUNs work. And of course, at last, the main purpose of an MUN is to debate, and then at last you have to write a resolution paper which will conclude your committee, as resolution papers contain the findings of the committee and the block that they are made by. They contain the solutions that you came up with and debated on within your committee time. And so at last, when you present your resolution paper, your aim is to get the votes of the majority on your resolution paper, so it passes, right? And that's how your committee ends. Finally, coming on to committees. So in the United Nations, there are several different country committees, sorry, which all deal with different problems simultaneously, right? Each committee specializes in certain types of issues. So with the United Nations Security Council, you can expect them to tackle, you can expect their agenda to contain issues regarding security and stuff like that, right? And of, so in an MUN, you have to choose one committee and you have to debate on the topic within the agenda of that committee. And I said topic because typically it's only one, but within the agenda of a committee, there can be multiple topics. In which case, you still debate on one topic, but once you get into committee, there is a whole procedure for determining which topic will be set as the main agenda for that committee, right? So that's a bit more technical, and we'll discuss that in future videos as well. Regardless, some committees can be unique and they can have some distinct features, right? So such features are the dual delegate committees, which have a dual partner along with which you will debate, right? So those can be really fun if you bring around a friend as well. Next, we have crisis committees. These are probably one of the most fun committees in the MUNs. And crisis committees aren't actually isn't actually a proper committee in the United Nations. So it's also like free from a lot of the other regulations that all of the other committees are under, and it does not follow the same procedure for technical procedure as the other United Nations committees do. So it's a bit easier in that sense as well. Although you have to think on your feet and you have to be really quick, but it's really fun. And at last, some committees can have an open agenda, which pretty much means that you'll get to know what the topic is once you're in the committee room. So, right? So you won't be able to do any research prematurely. Along with that, here's something important. So when you register in a committee, the first thing you should look for is the study guide for that committee, which you can access online. The study guides for committees includes a lot of information about the nature and the history of that committee, and it with examples, and it also contains information about the set agenda of that committee, right? So you should always use that as a reference guide when you're starting your research. And at last, each committee is overseen by the dais, which are the group of people that are leading the committee, and they consist of the chair, the committee directors, and the assistant committee directors. So this was the committee breakdown. uh, I know that in the entire video there were a lot of things that were discussed that are still not clarified, as they are a bit more technical, and there's still so many technicalities of MUNs that are not covered in this video. It's just a very basic introductory video for MUNs, but I hope that it really helped you. And thank you for watching. And I will be doing more videos to cover all of the aspects. So that's going to be it. I hope that you all have a good day, and thank you for watching.